Welcome back to Comical Opinions. This is a review of Holmes and Houdini #1 from Zenescope Entertainment, where the descendants of the famous magician and famous detective cross paths to steal back an ancient and possibly dangerous artifact from a ruthless CEO. But before we get started, please don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe to Comical Opinions. Your support is greatly appreciated. Now let's get into it. Before we get started, let's talk about the credits. The first issue of Holmes and Houdini #1 by Zenescope is written by Honor Vincent, artwork by Oliver Borges, colors by Fran Gamboa with color assist by JC Ruiz, letters by Taylor Esposito, and the main cover, cover A, is done by Igor Vitorino. So this is the first time we've seen Houdini, or at least a descendant of Houdini, in the Zenescope universe of characters and storytelling. We've encountered Spencer Holmes before. She's not a new character, but most recently we've seen her team up with the descendant of H.P. Lovecraft during the year or 2 years at this point of Lovecraft in Zenescope stories. And her unique ability is she has the at least a heightened sense of awareness or precognition to find clues and to lead her on the right path for whatever she's searching for. So basically, she's a type of super detective, if you want to call it that. However, this is the first time we've encountered Erica Houdini, who is the descendant of the great escape artist and magician Harry Houdini. And she doesn't have any magical abilities or powers of her own, from what we can tell, but she's been bequeathed or passed down to her a number of artifacts that can allow her to do miraculous magical things that are well beyond simple sleight of hand or trickery. So let's set the stage for the story. What's happening is Spencer Holmes, through her handler and or mission giver, if you will, Watson, who always remains faceless to her, at least for now, sends her on a path to track down what he calls a key, which is an important artifact that is held by somebody who shouldn't have it because it's too dangerous and it will create all kinds of problems if they do something with it that they shouldn't be doing with it. In this case, the holder of the key is a not so nice, but at least likable, but somewhat nefarious on the behind the scenes CEO by the name of Nolan Savoy. At the same time, coincidentally, Erica Houdini is a struggling artist and real estate agent who is bequeathed the artifacts from her famous ancestor. And she decides to set out on a mission to find out why her boyfriend was mysteriously killed and nobody will talk about it. Her boyfriend just so happens to be working for an agency owned by, you guessed it, Nolan Savoy. So the two have different reasons for tracking down Nolan Savoy and figuring out what he's up to. And the issue ends on a cliffhanger where the two cross paths right at the point where they're at the pedestal of this magical key item that Nolan is not supposed to have, and security is closing in on all sides. So that's the issue in a nutshell. What do we think about this? Honestly, I'm in. I'm in. I liked it. I liked it. I mean, I remember when the idea of Spencer Holmes coming up as a partner to the descendant of Lovecraft got together, and they were going through their adventures trying to stop the release of Cthulhu from his ancient prison. I said, well, that's a nice partnership. That's a nice team up. That works. I can see that ongoing as at least a mini series, if not an ongoing series, especially because Zenescope has this thing where basically all their characters are strong, powerful female characters, which is nothing wrong with that, but there's really no male characters to latch onto of any sort, with one or two exceptions. So it'd be nice to see like a male female team up and coming at an adventure from a different perspective. They do decide here to bring Holmes back, but it's a female team, which is fine. But Houdini's got some interesting qualities about her. Her backstory makes sense. She's sort of a little bit of an underdog, just trying to come into her own. Not quite a hero, just sort of using the gifts that she's been given to uh, make a bad situation right and find justice. And the two of them together, they're on the right path for the right reasons. They both have their strengths. They both have their weaknesses, both in their personalities and their abilities. For example, Holmes has that precognition that allows her to find clues, but she's not a capable spycraft artist. She's not a great hand-to-hand fighter or anything like that. So she's training and learning as she goes, but she's definitely weak in all the physical attributes of being able to fight and defend herself and to sneak into places and do all the kinds of things that you would expect her to do on a spycraft type of mission. Houdini, on the other hand, is a little bit more acrobatic and skilled and capable, pretty much in line with what her father has, or I should say, her ancestor has, Harry Houdini. But she lacks the resources. She lacks the intel from the systems and the people and the organizations around her. So she's really coming at it from somebody acting as a freelancer and just trying to do her best with what she's got, and she's constantly striving to make ends meet. So there's a lack of resources and a lack of facilities and systems to help her enable her missions. But the two of them together, they complement each other well, at least so far. I mean, they're just meeting, but you can see how their strengths and weaknesses can complement each other. So right off the bat, this seems like a good pairing. Their mission makes sense, even though we're not quite sure what this key is about or what Nolan Savoy is up to. And their personalities are distinctive enough that you can get behind them. And uh, contrary to kind of most of Zenescope's female-led characters, their outfits aren't ridiculously ridiculously overdone with the skimpiness. So they're dressed appropriately for who they are and what they're trying to do, which makes sense. And I think that's a welcome change of pace. Uh, so what do we like about the issue? The writing's on point from Honor Vincent. Dialogue, pacing, the plot, the way the two characters are developed and how they eventually collide, which basically ends on the cliffhanger, all fits. It all makes sense. Just from start to finish, this is a good way to start off with these two characters, especially as a potential partnership. Uh, what didn't we like about the issue? I think that I would like to see a little bit more background on Holmes, even though she's appeared in other Zenescope issues before, so you can go back and read those. If you're just picking up this issue new for the first time, you don't get as much of the background on Holmes as you do for Erica Houdini. So you might feel like you're coming in the middle of a conversation and don't quite have the full context. There's enough to hold on to, but not quite as much as you'd like. And yeah, for as far as downsides goes, that's pretty much it. So how about the art? So Borges's art is great. You can see from the sample panels that are laid out here, lots of detail. The background looks fantastic. The character designs and the panel composition, it's all well done. And we usually don't talk about the lettering too much, but Taylor Esposito is one of the better, or at least most well-known letterists out there. And he used some coloring choices here that work out pretty well. When you do colored backgrounds on the narration captions here, like what you see here with this sort of this olive green color, if you don't do the lettering right and the background color right and don't get that contrast right, it's hard to read. But no, it adds some color to the page. Taylor really made some good choices here that help the narration stand out without being hard to read, because that's the biggest no-no of all if you're a letterist. So final comments. What do we think about Holmes and Houdini #1? One of the better premiere issues of, at least for one of the characters as a brand new character, and their adventure is interesting, and I want to read more. So that's all you can hope for a premiere issue. So thumbs up to the creative team all the way around. This was a smart choice. It was a good choice, and looking forward to what comes next in issue #2. Therefore, we're going to give Holmes and Houdini #1 a 9 out of 10. So hope you enjoyed this review. Before you leave, please like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let us know how we're doing. This is Gabe Hernandez for ComicalOpinions.com signing off. You have a great day.